From the Bob Carpenter Center on the campus of the University of Delaware, Comcast Sports presents the 16th annual Beast of the East Wrestling Tournament. With John Vogeting, I'm John Mondelli, and Voge, the wrestlers are coming out for the finals in what a lot of people think is the top wrestling tournament in the country.
Without a doubt, if it isn't one of the tops, it is the top wrestling tournament in the country. You have wrestlers from several different states here, nationally ranked wrestlers, outstanding wrestlers. Blair Academy alone has 8 wrestlers in the finals today.
Of course, a lot of people think Blair Academy is the #1 team in the country. We have a lot of guys ranked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the country in this tournament. A tournament this early with that kind of competition, is it good for wrestling?
Well, it does not hurt wrestling one bit. A lot of schools have been involved in wrestling for over a month now. It brings together a very early look at who should be ranked #1 in the country, regionally, nationally. You're going to see some of the best in the country here today.
Okay, it should be a great afternoon of wrestling, and we're going to have all the action coming up next on Comcast. And welcome back to the Carpenter Center. John Mondelli and John Vogeting. And Voge, we're underway at 103 pounds. Our first match. And right into the action.
Wastes little time. Mark Gray of Blair Academy. He's up against Joe Orecchio of Don Bosco Prep, a New Jersey wrestler.
A couple wrestlers from the Garden State.
We have plenty of TV people sitting officers.
We talked about Blair Academy in the opening, how they are considered by a lot of people the top team in the country. And then right now in a couple national rankings, they are ranked #1 in the country.
Take a look at these brackets here, and we'll tell you how they got to this point. Gray, a freshman, the #1 seeded wrestler in this weight class. He had a technical fall in his first bout. He had an 11-0 major in his second bout, 12-2 in his third bout. In the quarterfinals, he beat Fahey of Trinity, John Fahey, the #8 seed, 9-3. And then in the semifinals, he beat the #4 seed, Greg Flournoy of Farquhar, by tech fall, 16-1. So he hasn't really been pressed in this whole match so far, this competition. Orecchio, the #3 seed. He opened up the tournament.
He's in trouble, Voge. Gray's got him on his back early.
Oh my, deep trouble. Gray's got a good near side arm bar on. He's going to try and turn him again. Orecchio opened with a fall, followed that up with a 3-1 win, and then a 7-0 win. In the semifinals, he beat the #10 seed, Cheyenne Brown of Dolphin, 3-0.
Into the first period, a 5-0 lead for Gray. Gray's brother, Mike, is the only 4-time state champion, Voge, in New Jersey wrestling history.
Accomplished that with his state championship in 2006. Now he's at Cornell University.
Gray on the bottom to start the second. Gray ranked #1 in the country in amateur wrestling news. Orecchio is 10th in the country. Look at Gray just battling on the bottom, gets the escape. He's now up 6-0.
Very technically sound. He's on his way to another big win.
Look at that, Voge.
And only a freshman. That's the amazing thing. His brother Mike was a state champion at 103 pounds as a freshman, 112 pounds as a sophomore, 19 as a junior, won the 125-pound state championship as a senior, the only, as you mentioned, 4-time state champion in New Jersey history. He is now a sophomore at Cornell, wrestling at 141 pounds, and is nationally ranked.
1:23 left, second period.
for 103 pounds. Gray is 8-1 this season. He's from Rockaway, New Jersey, freshman at Blair. Cadet Greco national champion, 8 times a national champion at Tulsa. Cadet freestyle national champion, a cadet freestyle national champion. Second in the Walsh Ironman this year. That's where his one loss came from. And Orecchio also has impressive credentials. Don Bosco prep wrestler. Fargo Cadet National runner-up in New Jersey last year, a Region 2 champion.
We take a look at the Blair coaching staff. Under 30 seconds left in the second period, 6-0 lead for Gray. And we go into the third period, 6-0 lead for Gray. As we look at the Don Bosco prep coaching staff as we begin period number 3. Both wrestlers up, but Gray wrestling on top.
Of course,
in the neutral position, I should say.
And at the same time that this is ongoing, on the center mat on one side of the arena, on the opposite side, matches for 3rd, 5th, and 7th also ongoing at the same time.
So Gray in total control. Your thoughts on Gray, Vo, just seeing him for the first time? Your thoughts on Gray, Vo? I see you're trying to get some information on the wrestlebacks. We get another takedown, 8-0. Obviously, for a freshman, he's wrestled a lot coming into high school.
Very skilled. I mean, you could see by the background sheet that he filled out and turned in, having wrestled for 11 years already. That's a lot of wrestling. And of course, some wrestlers can do that at a younger age and become very skilled. Other wrestlers seem to get burnt out by the time they get to this level.
And as a freshman at 103 pounds, it'll be interesting to see his progression, how much he grows by his senior year.
Well, if he mirrors his brother, it'll be 1 weight class a year. His brother went from 103 to 12 to 19 to 25, and now he's a 141-pounder on the collegiate level.
Under 10 seconds now. Gray with the 8-0 lead.
Very impressive.
And he will go on and win a major 8-0 win.
There's your winner, ladies and gentlemen. He's a big
8-0 win. And you talked, Voj, in the opening about how impressive Blair Academy was coming into this finals.
A major decision, and he made it look easy.
Finishing 5th from Central Pullman, Pete Brown. Finishing 6th, Tyler Pendergast.
We get ready for the...
Just looking back for a second, Orecchio had 38 wins so far this year. And to have Gray do what he did just speaks very highly of the credentials of Gray.
Get ready for 112 pounds, Voj. Who do we have at 112?
112 pounds. We have the number 5 seed, Evan Silver of Blair, another Blair Academy wrestler, and he'll be wrestling the number 2 seed, Devin Carter of Christiansburg. Of course, we mentioned how impressive Blair has been, having 8 wrestlers advance to the finals. Christiansburg out of Virginia is also an outstanding team that you'll see nationally ranked every year. Devin Carter, a record this year of 20-0 entering this bout, 119-13 in his career, ranked number 2 nationally in the Amateur Wrestling News. State champion last year, a two-time Fargo
Let's get the little guys off.
national champion, Ironman champion in 2008, 2007. He was a runner-up, and he was a Beast of the East runner-up last year. That's Devin Carter.
Silver in tight, trying to get the takedown.
And we mentioned that Carter first in the Ironman, a national tournament this year, and Silver third in the Ironman.
And Silver gets the takedown in a 2-0 lead. Just a minute 10 into the first period.
Silver is 10-1 this season, 58-7 in his career. Ranked 18th in the country at 119 pounds. And of course he's wrestling 112 here. National prep champion. 5th in the Ironman in 2007, 5th in the Beast of the East last year, 3rd in the Ironman this year.
And to get here, Vogue, Silver beat Sean Boylan of St. Mark's, Delaware, 3-2. Boylan was the 103-pound champ last year, beating Carter, who's out there wrestling right now.
Right.
2-1 now.
Hard to believe that Silver was the number 5 seed. That's how good the competition was in this tournament. He opened up with a fall over Painter of Pequoson, followed that up with a technical fall over Subchak of Great Bridge, a couple of good Virginia schools. Followed that up with a 3-0 win over the number 12 seed, Ryan Hunsberger of Farquhar. Then Silver won 9-3 against the number 2 seed, Zach Horan of Nazareth, and won his semifinal match against the number 1 seed, Sean Boylan of St. Mark's.
And there's an escape 3-1 lead now for Silver as we're into the second period.
Carter entered as the number 2 seed. He won his opening match by a fall, won his second match by a fall. Then he won by a fall the third time out against Rich Tito of Southern Regional. In the quarterfinals, he won 10-2 against Kyle Johnson of Wyoming. In the semifinals, he won 6-1 over Robert Deutsch of Eastern Regional.
You talked about the 5 seed for Silver votes, but this is something, talking to you all these years covering wrestling with you, the practice room at Blair has got to make you better because you're always wrestling. Your partner's always somebody real good.
Unquestionably. That's the teams that you normally see on top in the rankings are teams that have a little bit of depth and who also have partners who make them a better wrestler in the wrestling room.
Silver trying for another takedown.
Very aggressive, getting in on the leg, on the single.
Nothing yet. 40 seconds left in the second period. Right on the line. Then go back to the center. 3-1 lead. Evan Silver of Blair Academy. Blair trying to pick up their second consecutive win here at the Beast.
And of course, when you get the 3-1 lead, it puts a lot of pressure on the opponent because he's the one that's trailing. He's the one that has to take some possibly untimely shots.
Of course, Carter has his choice in the third period, so if he can get a takedown here, that put him in pretty good shape. But right now he's trailing with 6 seconds left, 3-1 here in the second. Takes the shot, fought off by Silver, and we're going to go into the third period. Silver with a 3-1 lead. Third period. Silver eventually escaped by Carter. Something else we talked about on the way over here, Vogue, working on top, working hard. And you see a lot of early escapes and periods.
And that's because a lot of times in freestyle wrestling, which a lot of these kids get involved in, all the periods start on in the neutral position. So they're more skilled on their feet for the most part. And riding, because there is no riding time on the high school level, does not lead for wrestlers trying to practice extra hard on that riding aspect of it. College, of course, there is riding time. So when they go to the next level, they're going to have to be able to hold wrestlers down just a little bit longer sometimes to gain an extra point.
That's probably a big transition, Voj, in college. I mean, kids learning that they got to be good on top because they're not used to it in high school. First of all, the competition's a lot better when you take that step up. But, you know, they're used to, I just let the guy go, I can get a takedown, and it's not that easy once you get to the college level.
No, it isn't. But, on the high school level, it's almost become a lost art in a lot of cases for people wanting to try and ride the opponent out. Now, a lot of times, takedowns are followed by throws or by maneuvers that try to put the wrestler right on his back. And you see the pressure being kept on by Silver. And of course, Carter is a very accomplished wrestler in his own right.
Silver wearing the green anklet. Blair on the back of his singlet. 15 seconds left. One takedown in this match, and that belongs to Evan Silver, a first period takedown.
Carter, originally from High Point in New Jersey, now lives in Christiansburg, Virginia.
And the match is going to end. Another title for Blair Academy, 3-2 win for Evan Silver.
And that makes Blair Academy 2 for 2.
Get ready to hold off for a while, though, because they're waiting for the consolation matches to end before they get to the 119.
But you'll notice too that they go pretty much right through this because the award ceremonies take place after all the wrestling has been completed. But they try and keep the weight classes, as you mentioned, going concurrently.
Let's talk about 119 pounds. We have Sean Boyle from Blair Academy, a senior, against Shane Gentry, Colonial Forge, also a senior, 119 pounds. Another third wrestler from Blair we're seeing.
Sean Boyle of Blair, the #1 seed at this weight class, 157-7 in his career, 11-1 this year. He's from
Massachusetts.
Yeah, Lowell, Massachusetts. Ranked #9 nationally at 125 pounds. Well, you see he's at 119. 2007. Wrestled in the Beast of the East, was a champion. 2008, the prep school national champion. 2008, second in the Walsh Ironman.
Yeah, Boyle was won at 112 last year. As a matter of fact, Gentry, who we're going to see, Voj, finished third in this tournament last year at 112.
And Shane Gentry from Stafford, Virginia, wrestles for Colonial Forge in Virginia. He's been wrestling for 7 years. 173 wins and 19 losses in that career. 16-1 this year. Second in the Virginia State Championships at 112 pounds in 2008. As you mentioned, third in the Beast of the East last year at 112 pounds.
Okay, we're going to take a break. They're going to wait for the consolations to end on the other mat so they can catch up with the weight classes. We'll be back with the 119-pound weight class after this timeout. And back at the University of Delaware, John Vogeting and John Mondelli. And Voj, we're getting ready for 119 pounds. We sort of talked about the wrestlers, Boyle and Gentry, before we went to break. And we're getting ready to see those two wrestlers right now. It's the third straight entry from Blair Academy.
With 2 individual championships already under their belts. Sean Boyle, the #1 seed, opened up with a 7-3 win. He followed it up with a first period fall. Then he followed that up with an 8-6 win. In the quarterfinals, he won 9-0 over the #8 seed, Shane Miller of Middletown. In the semifinals, he won 10-0 over the #4 seed, Zach Huxford of Jackson.
Well, Boyle in trouble early, Vogt.
Well, and he seemed to be getting stronger and stronger as the tournament went on. Of course, as you mentioned, Shane Gentry, no stranger to the beast. He was the number 2 seed. His first match was a 5-4 win. Then he followed that up with a
stalemate
first
here.
period fall over Ian Ritchie of Cumberland. Then he had a 7-4 win over Danny Graham of Salesianum, who was unseeded. Followed it up with a 2-0 win over the number 6 seed, Frankie Goodwin of Mount St. Joseph. So he had a much tougher road to the final.
Boyle trying to pick that ankle.
And spins around behind, gets him down to the mat. He's going to get 2 points.
So a 2-0 lead for the senior from Blair Academy. Blair Academy in New Jersey. We'll go back to the center. A 2-0 lead for Boyle. And 40 seconds left, first period.
And as we had mentioned, Shane Gentry from Colonial Forge in Virginia, and he lives in Stafford, Virginia.
They go out again. We go back to the center. John Vogeting, my partner, a member of the National Wrestling Hall of Fame, Vogue. So you've seen a lot of wrestling in your day. You've made some tricks. You talk about Virginia. You've been down to Virginia to see wrestling. You've been all over.
Quite an experience, believe me, especially when you see some of these wrestlers that you get a chance to watch on a high school level and then see them competing on the NCAA level each year in the Division I championship. Gentry third a year ago in this tournament, same weight class with Boyle. Did not have an opportunity to wrestle him in this tournament last year because Gentry lost before getting to the finals.
Big 10 seconds for Gentry, trying to at least get that 1 point back with the escape, but Boyle tough on top. Here's that takedown, Voge.
It's a good spin behind move. He just controls the head, spins behind. No takedown yet. But when he gets into the mat and has control, that's when he is awarded the 2 points.
Boyle starts on the bottom.
You see that a lot.
Second period.
You see that a lot in tournaments. If wrestlers can control the opponent's head when they're on their feet, a lot of times that leads to a takedown. And you see the spin behind for the reversal by Boyle.
Almost saw the official give that quick, and then he held back and he waited till the move was complete.
Well, you have to. You have to make sure there's complete control. A lot of times when they're in a neutral position, a wrestler spins behind another wrestler. He may have established control, but hasn't taken to the mat yet. There you see the escape.
Now 4-1, 30 seconds into the second.
Again, you notice there wasn't a whole concerted effort there of keeping his man down the mat because he has a takedown already, has a reversal. So I think he probably feels a little bit more confident on his feet.
Trying to spin around. Does he have enough room to get the takedown? I don't think so, Voge. He gave it to him. He got it.
Again, he had the toes in bounds and gets control. Once you knock the other wrestler off his base and get his hips down to the mat, and you have your toes in bounds, you're going to get the 2 points.
Now 6-1.
And you notice that there's more uniform starting procedures now on the high school level. The wrestler on top is supposed to put his hand on the belly button first, and as soon as he touches that elbow, the whistle blows. There is no delay in blowing the whistle.
Let's take a look at that last takedown.
Just control, spin behind.
See control right there where he is.
And see the toes in bounds? Here's the 2.
6-1 lead for Boyle.
Boyle showing some concentration on top by staying in control, but if he feels any kind of danger at all, you'll see him cut his opponent loose because he's already gotten a couple of takedowns.
Your warm-up area is behind the officials. Your warm-up area is behind the officials.
Well, the Carpenter complex is superb for wrestling.
Absolutely, Coach. I was just going to say that.
Not an obstructed seat in the whole complex.
Under 10 seconds now left in the second, 6-1 lead, Boyle.
Tournament director Bob Shaw putting this affair on, and they've done a fabulous job having 2 days of competition go very smoothly.
As we look at the coaching seven votes, how many teams got denied? He was telling how many people applied to get in this tournament. I think they said they turned away 40 or 50 schools.
They turned away over 40 schools seeking some kind of an entry. Not every school has a full allotment of 14 wrestlers here. Some have as few as 3 or 4 wrestlers, but they have to have credentials, those wrestlers, to get into this tournament. So it's something that a lot of schools go after, but especially, as we mentioned before, with New Jersey schools, they just started competition this weekend. This is their first weekend of actual competition other than scrimmages. I know when schools have wrestled down in Virginia before during the Christmas holidays, those schools always had 10, 12, 14 bouts under their belts already.
Well, this match, Sean Boyle, Blair Academy wrestling quite a number of matches already. Boyle has how many in votes?
This year already he's wrestled 12 times going into this tournament. He's 11-1. And of course Gentry from Virginia, he's wrestled 17 times already.
There's the escape now, 6-2. Of course, Blair Academy not in the New Jersey Interscholastic Athletic Association, so they can start earlier.
Yes, prep schools are under a different guideline than the public and parochial or non-public schools in New Jersey. They will have competed a lot more times than schools under the auspices of the New Jersey State Interscholastic Athletic Association.
Shane Gentry's going to needs to try for a big move, Vogue, down 4.
Well, he needs a big move to survive this bout, and it's very unlikely that
There's another spin around takedown for Boyle.
Yes. Again, you see when the opponent goes low, he just controls the head, spins behind, stays on his toes. Gets behind. And had they been further inbounds, that would have been certain back points.
8-2 to lead.
Boyle.
Yeah. Absolutely, 8-2 lead.
And boiling down to the last 15 seconds of the bout, so Boyle's in very good shape. There was a spin move off the bottom to get the escape.
But under 10 seconds. You get another takedown now, 10-3.
And
10-4.
Escape. 10-4 will be the final.
So Boyle gives Blair 3 for 3. They will not win 125 votes.
They do not have an entry there.
That is correct. We get ready for 125 pounds. The number 9 seed, Simon Kitsis of Wyoming Seminary, and Pat Owens of Germantown Academy, the number 3 seed. A couple juniors. And it looks like they're doing some of the award ceremony. I thought we were going to do that afterwards, Vogue. We were told.
That's what I was told. We're not on the air right now, are we? We are? Oh, I'm
There
sorry.
we see some of the wrestlers from today's tournament.
Officials, can you clear number 1 wrestlers? You've got 10 minutes.
As we we get ready for 125.
We have 2 award ceremonies to give out.
Oh, evidently they are going to give some of the awards out before they get all the way to the end.
So we will have a few-minute break, they're telling the wrestlers.
Your police cleared the fence. Officials, we have 2 award ceremonies
So we have some
to do.
time to kill as we get ready for 125.
Okay, well, I understand what they're doing now. There are 2 sets of awards to give out. I guess the first 2 weight classes they're going to do.
Okay, we're going to take a break, then come back, and we'll have the 125-pound weight class from University of Delaware after this timeout. Welcome back to the Carpenter Center at the University of Delaware. John Mondelli and John Voching. We take a look at our winners' votes at 103 pounds. Or is that 112?
That's 112.
Okay, 112. Evan Silver of Blair Academy, a 3-2 winner over Devin Carter of Christiansburg to win that one. Now we go to 125 pounds. The number 9 seed, Simon Kitsis of Wyoming Seminary. And the number 3 seed, Pat Owens of Germantown Academy. And there we see votes. Mark Ray, Blair Academy to winner, an 8-0 winner over Joe Orecchio of Don Bosco Prep, and the other place winners at 103 pounds. As we get ready here, votes at 125. First time we are not seeing a Blair Academy wrestler out there.
Number 3 seed, Pat Owens of Germantown Academy, a junior, 11-2 this year so far. He's a second and 4th in previous appearances in the Beast of the East, 2-time Pennsylvania Prep State champion, 2nd and 3rd in the national preps, and a 3-time Ironman place winner. His opponent, Simon Kitsis, a junior, or a senior is he, from Wyoming Seminary.
Junior.
From Newton, Massachusetts, 8-2 this year, a New England champion and a cadet national champion, and he also placed 5th in the cadet nationals.
Owens last year, Vogue, finished 4th in this tournament at 119. And we're scoreless so far, about a minute in, 125 pounds.
Owens, the number 3 seed, a junior, won his first match in a pin in under a minute against Garrett Dowdy of Christiansburg. Then he won 9-2 over Gary Woods of Riverbend. Followed that up with a 6-1 win over Cody Brumal of Smyrna. And in the semifinals, he defeated the number 2 seed, Garrett Fry of Blair Academy. So that's why Blair Academy doesn't have 4 consecutive weight classes, because of the win that Owens got in the semifinals.
Kitts is trying to get this takedown. He might get a little more if he gets the takedown, but we got the takedown. They gave it to him.
Kitsis, the number 9 seed, opened up with a fall over Troy Willett of Absegami High School in South Jersey. Followed that up with an 8-2 win over Frank Acosta of Don Bosco. In the quarterfinals, he won 4-3 in overtime on a tiebreaker.
We have the coaches now disputing that takedown. Just want to get some questions to make sure that was a takedown.
And that says Kitsis with a tiebreaker win 4-3 over the number 1 seed, Michael Rotolo of Colonial.
Take a look at this. Tell me, there's no dispute. Was it a takedown?
Well, see, the bottom man's still scrambling, still scrambling, still scrambling. No takedown yet. He's got trying to get the near side cradle locked up. And when he gets him off, I still don't think he has the takedown.
There's the 2. Everybody gave him the 2 right there.
Yeah. I would get up and question it as well.
Obviously, if you're the coach of Germantown Academy, you're thinking no takedown, but.
Yep.
That's a big takedown in the last 20 seconds, too. So Owens will look to get at least 1 back with an escape here. As you see him moving around, very aggressive on the bottom, trying to get that 1 point.
Both these wrestlers advanced to the finals with overtime wins. Kitsis in the semifinals defeated Eric Dunnett of Eastern Regional 3-1 in overtime. Eric Dunnan, of course, a senior for people from southern New Jersey who remember him wrestling for Paulsboro last year, Eastern Regional this year.
Coaching staff
And
at Wyoming Seminary.
Owens also advanced in overtime, a 2-1 sudden victory decision in overtime.
John Gordon, the head coach there. Wyoming Seminary in Kingston, Pennsylvania. Now it's 2-1. 11 seconds into the second. Germantown Academy in Fort Washington, Pennsylvania, coached by Steve Hill. 30 seconds into the second. 1 point lead. That takedown by Kitsis gives him a 2-1 lead.
Two to one, and nobody wants him to make a mistake in this kind of a situation.
2 years ago, Vogue, Owens finished second at 103 pounds, lost in overtime 3-1.
So plenty of experience coming into this.
Trying to get that title that's eluded him so far. Second and a fourth. One minute left here in the second. Still 2-1. Taking that shot from far away. And as I said, we haven't had any stall cross. There's a warning there on Kitsis. Which now will put some pressure on him, Coach.
Well, especially with the lead. If you get hit with a stalling call with this much time left, half a minute in this period, another 2 minute period to follow this. So it puts a little bit more pressure on you.
Owens will go and take another shot.
Trying to control the head.
And we go to the final 5 seconds. 2-1. Kitsis will take that lead in the third period. On the bottom. This will be interesting now. We talk about wrestlers working on the top, how long Owens will take. Owens is going to let him go. He hasn't had to take that yet. I was kind of surprised that he would give up the point right like that, Coach.
Yes.
But I guess.
And you know, it could be because he feels a little bit stronger on his feet than on the mat.
There's the warning. It's now 3-2. Second one. I guess now if Owens just keeps putting the pressure on him, or maybe force him into a mistake.
Well, especially with the other wrestler having been hit with a stalling warning and then a stalling point, it's to your advantage to keep the pressure on.
Owens is going after those shots. Hasn't connected, but he's forced a couple of stalls.
It's almost a stalemate situation. Good job to fight off the takedown attempt.
We go back to the center once again. 1 minute, 10 seconds left in this bout at 125 pounds.
1 minute.
A lot of intensity from the corner, from the coaches.
Head coach Steve Hill, assistants Waller, Mittman, and Antonelli. There's the warning. There's another stall call. Now it's 3-3. 2 to 3 points, folks, on stalls.
Being a little bit too defensive. Now he steps in. He's got to get complete control, though.
they go out. We go back to the center.
Because when he
Owen's
stepped,
a little bit lucky there, Voge.
yes, when he stepped across, when the wrestler stepped across and attempted to get the takedown, supporting point, one of his supporting points was out of bounds, and that's why you have to have both your supporting points inbounds in order to get the takedown. But with only 25 seconds to go, these two guys are tied, headed for overtime, and they both advance to this point in the semifinals by winning in overtime.
Just one takedown in this match. That was the final 20 seconds of the first period for Kitsis. I don't think either wrestler looks like they want to make a mistake here. We're going to go to overtime. Official a little confused. He was flipping the coin, Voge, but we'll start neutral, right? 1 minute.
1 minute overtime period first. This is sudden death. If a wrestler gets a takedown, he's going to win. Or as it's referred to nowadays as sudden victory.
See how quick the officials are to call stalling here.
And it carries over, so
right.
I mean a stalling call would end the bout.
Seconds into the overtime. Gets us in the Wyoming Seminary.
Trying to spin behind.
He's going to get the takedown.
Control.
Got it. Ending the match in overtime. Simon Kitsis. There's a discussion now, Voge, to see if it's over. What do you think?
It looked like he was behind him. It looked like it was good enough to get the takedown, but as soon as he went up with the two fingers for the takedown, the other wrestler would come out of it pretty quickly. But once control is established, you have to give the takedown.
It is Simon Kitsis of Wyoming Seminary with a 5-3 win over Pat Owens of Germantown Academy. Votes. Take a look and we'll see for ourselves.
Watch the spin behind. Gets underneath the arm, spins behind. Once he gets entirely behind him, and in the mind of the official has control, he's going to give the 2 points.
Well, I'm asking you, do you think he had control?
No.
No, okay. That's why we're up here and they're down there. We're going to take a break. More action after this timeout. Right back at it, Voge. 130 pounds. Chris Volonga of Blair Academy and Sam Sherlock of West Mifflin. A couple juniors and another wrestler from Blair Academy.
Chris Volonga, 8-0 this year, 76-3 in his career. He is a junior from Blair Academy. Ranked 5th in the country at 135 pounds. Of course, competing at 130 here. 2-time Ironman champion at 125 and 130. Beast champion at 125 pounds a year ago. 2-time National Prep School champion. 2 times Fargo Cadet National Place winner. Both times finishing 3rd. His opponent, Sam Sherlock from West Mifflin in Pennsylvania, is a junior. 5-0 this year. 76-9 in his career.
A nice takedown for Sherlock.
As we're talking about him, 4th in the state a year ago, Cadet National Freestyle Champion. And in the state, Freestyle and Greco 2nd placer in the state of Pennsylvania.
35 wins last year for Sherlock. Volonga last year, 33-0.
Great year.
Especially with that schedule.
Yes.
Now 2-1 after the escape. Volonga won this last year at 125 pounds.
30.
Villalonga's had his way in this tournament. He won his first match by a fall. He won his second match by a major, 9-0. Then he won by a technical fall over Ryan Walls of Sussex Central. Won his next match 7-0 over the number 9.
Watch that takedown, Vogue, early on.
Gets in on the single, but goes right to a double, just lifts his opponent and drives him to the mat. So I was mentioning Villalonga 7-0 in his quarterfinal.
And we go to the second, a 2-1 lead for Sherlock.
In the semifinal, Villalonga won 6-2 over the number 4 seed, Eddie Coles of Eastside.
Number 1 ranked wrestler in the country at 130 pounds, Villalonga.
Sherlock opened up with a first period fall in his opening match, won 8-1 in his second match. Had a tough match, in his pre-quarterfinal, 4-3 over the number 14 seed, Ian Squires of Colonial Forge. Won his quarterfinal by a fall over the number 11 seed, Nick Hodgkins of Wyoming Seminary. Then won his semifinal 4-3 over the number 2 seeded wrestler, Nick Schenk of St. Mark's.
2-2 right now, and Villalonga won the Ironman, beat freshman phenom Felipe Martinez, who upset the number 1 seed Tony Ramos in the semifinals at the Ironman. Another one of those great tournaments. Ramos is the number 3 ranked wrestler right now, according to Amateur Wrestling News, at 130 pounds. That freshman, Felipe Martinez, votes ranked number 8 in the country as a freshman.
That Ironman competition's got to be ranked right up there with among the best tournaments in the country this early in the season. Trying to spin behind. If he takes his man to the mat in control, he can get points.
Rest on the edge.
But cannot get his opponent to the mat in control.
There's only 2 points coming on escapes. Only takedown for Sherlock.
Boy, that wrestling room at Blair has got to be a torture bin with all the talent that we've seen so far in the first 5 weight classes.
Yeah, they don't rebuild, Vogue, they reload. You ever hear that saying?
Oh, yes.
I see a lot of empty chairs down there. We need 2 weight classes. We're going to get in there. Wrestle on the edge. Wrestle on the edge. 119, 125. Let's go.
Again, keeping the pressure on.
Center. Hand. Out of bounds. We're neutral. That's right.
Take a look at the coaching staff.
Interestingly, the Blair Academy wrestling room doors are always open to anyone who wants to venture in. With this talent we've seen the first 5 weight classes, they'd be pretty brave to venture in there. You know you're going to get a workout.
Yeah, well, here we go. 2-2. We go into the third.
See how hard Villalonga wants to ride his opponent, or if he wants to cut him loose and go for the takedown. Pretty nice arm and waist attempt right off the bat. Underhooks the arm.
Stay in there. Let's wrestle in there. Try to bounce on the line.
Go back to the center. What do you think, Vogue, when in a match like this? Because you want to give yourself time, if you can't turn him, to at least try for the takedown. So, is there a period of time, 30 seconds, a minute?
I think so. I think that's all up to the coach and the wrestler, how long they want to go, because there is no riding time, so there's no benefit unless you think you can turn a man for back points to continue to ride, especially if you've got 1 takedown in the match already. Of course, you scored the first points.
But Villalonga was taken down, so
well, if
he hasn't recorded a takedown yet.
Yeah, so that's probably why he's trying to do a stronger job of keeping his man on the mat. try and work up some kind of a combination to turn his man. Covering him like a blanket.
107 left. Blair is 3 for 3 coming into this in the finals, winning at 312 and 19. Trying to win at 130 pounds. This is a tough one, though. Almost had him on his back there. Past the 1 minute mark, so we're only 50 seconds left here in the third. No sign of letting him up.
And Sherlock had tried to hit what looked like a Granby prior to being broken back down. Notice Villalonga hooking that ankle, trying to keep the pressure on upper body, as well as keeping that ankle trapped. Down to the last 15 seconds, now Sherlock's got to try and explode off the bottom, or we're going overtime.
Great job on top there, Vogt, huh?
You ride someone for 2 minutes of that caliber, you're doing a great job.
He has that tight. I can't see Sherlock getting out, and he won't. We're going to get another overtime.
As good as the ride was in that last period, it's going to put a lot of pressure on Sherlock to try and go for a takedown in this period.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go into that 30-second ride out. Sherlock with a first period takedown, his 2 points of the match. A couple escapes for Villalonga.
Villalonga blocking off the first attempt of Sherlock to try and get to him. He might be content, Villalonga, to let it go into the 2 1-minute overtime period, 2 30-second overtime periods,
Sure.
because he looked deadly on top as riding.
And he escaped when he was on the bottom. So.
Yes. So his points have come getting off the bottom. And Sherlock had very little success coming off the bottom against him.
Well, here we go.
Top, bottom, defer.
And Villalonga will take bottom first.
Now, if he escapes, it will not stop automatically.
Villalonga escapes, so it definitely puts pressure on Sherlock.
Stop for potentially dangerous. 21 seconds left. The first 30-second overtime. Trying to first stand up, trying to get hand control. Sherlock doing a good job.
Down to 13 seconds. Got to explode if you're on the bottom.
Well, that was out. Kicks free.
Got the escape. 7 seconds left.
Now puts the pressure on Sherlock, number 1, to try and pressure this 7 seconds, see if he can't get some kind of points before this overtime ends up. Now he's got the daunting task of trying to come off the bottom from somebody who rode him for 2 minutes in the third period of regulation. Oh my, Sherlock got up to his feet in a hurry.
Nice job, though. Volonga takes him right back down. What you're supposed to do.
Got a nice waist ride.
Out of bounds. Let's go, Reggie.
Down to 21 seconds.
See if Sherlock tries something different than stand up this time. Try to sit out and turn in. Oh my. Nice Granby across the shoulders. But Villalonga is sticking to him like a blanket again.
8 seconds, 7 seconds. We have a whistle. Yeah, Villalonga, you can just grab onto that ankle right here, though, right, Coach?
Well, that waist ride has been very beneficial for him. Let's try and break him down. Caution. False start on the bottom. Ken comes to his feet.
Brings him right back down.
Oh,
Wow.
nice waist ride.
That's a clinic, Voch.
Yes.
3-2 win. Chris Villalonga, Blair Academy. You took a look at those bracket sheets, Voch, when we first got here and talked about Blair Academy, how impressive they were. They're showing it here.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. They are very, very impressive.
Okay, as we get ready for 130 pounds, take a look, Voch, here at Villalonga. There's the escape.
Kicks free. That's the point, the deciding point.
And Holly got all 3 points on the escape. So we're going to have a brief break here for award ceremony, Voch. So we're going to take a break, come back 135 pounds after this timeout from the University of Delaware. Welcome back as we take a look at the 125-pound place winners, Voch. And of course, we just saw that was an overtime match, 125 pounds. The winner was Simon Kitsis of Wyoming Seminary, a 5-3 win in overtime over Pat Owens, who finished second. As we get ready for 135 pounds, Nikki Gordon of Wyoming Seminary, the number 4 seed. He's a senior going up against the sophomore number 3 seed, Austin Ormsby of Blair Academy.
Austin Ormsby of Blair, a sophomore, 20 wins and 2 losses this year, 80 wins and 6 losses in his career, ranked 5th nationally, wrestling now in his 6th year, a national prep school champion, 4th in the Ironman this year, 5th in the Ironman a year ago, 3rd in the Beast of the East a year ago, Austin Ormsby. Nikki Gordon from Kingston, Pennsylvania, wrestling for Wyoming Seminary, a senior, 13-2 this year, 172 and 27 in his career. Ranked 17th nationally, a 2-time national prep finalist, 4-time prep All-American, a cadet freestyle All-American, 5th place in the Ironman. Notice these nationally ranked wrestlers, many of them competing in the Ironman tournament. Getting to this point in the tournament, Ormsby opened with a tech fall, followed that with a fall. Then he won 14-2 over Felton Goodwin of Williamstown.
There's a takedown, by the way, for Ormsby.
In the quarterfinals, won by a fall over the number 6 seeded wrestler, Andrew Williams of Tab. In the semifinals, he won 6-3 over the number 10 seeded wrestler, Austin Summer of Northampton. Nikki Gordon of Wyoming Seminary won 17-4 in his first match over Drew Squires of Colonial Forge, won 9-5 over the number 13th ranked wrestler, seeded wrestler, Joshua Clark of Mathaka, won 9-1 over the number 5 seed, Jared Anagos of James River, and advanced to the final match by winning a semifinal 15-4 over number 1 seeded Hank Stinson of Eastern Regional.
Here we see the place winners, Voch, at 119.
119 pounds.
Sean Boyle of Blair Academy is a 10-4 winner in that match over Shane Gentry of Colonial Forge. And you see the other place winners rounding that out.
Third was Frankie Goodwin of St. Joseph. Fourth was Zach Hutsford of Jackson Memorial. Matt Mafaro of Boyertown was fifth. Brandon Schulte of Sussex Central was sixth. Shane Miller of Middletown was seventh. And Danny Graham of Louisiana was eighth.
And Ormsby will take a 2-0 lead into the second with that first period takedown.
We'll read the 25-pound place winners real quick. Simon Kitsis of Wyoming Seminary won over Pat Owens of Germantown Academy. Mike Garofalo of Colonial Forge was third. Wendell Cannon of Sussex Tech was fourth. Eric Dunnett of Eastern was fifth. Garrett Fry of Blair Academy was sixth. BJ Young of Jackson Memorial seventh. And Justin Heller of Chestnut Hill Academy was eighth.
3-0 lead Ormsby. As they go out, we'll go back to the center. Here's that takedown in the first period by Ormsby. Sophomore coach with a lot of wrestling experience already.
Look at that spin behind. Just control the head, spin behind, get control with your man on the mat, and you get an easy 2 points.
Look at that ankle pick.
Right in on that single ankle pick, moves right up to a double, gets another takedown.
Now 5-0.
A move that John Smith, the Oklahoma State coach, made famous when he was competing on the collegiate level and into the Olympics. That dart to the ankle for an ankle pick. Setting up a single leg and then converting into a double leg. Takes a lot of practice.
This is the fifth Blair wrestler we've seen coached, and the first four have all won.
Oh, nice kickover attempt by Gordon. But Ormsby is in control on the mat. Throws the legs in, pries the half, tries to pry the half.
Stalemate.
Yeah, when you get the legs in like that, unless you can get the half up in there, and he pretty much had a grip on the wrist, if you don't get the half in right away, they're going to call stalemate because you're in control, but you're kind of riding parallel to the body. Ormsby leads his leg out in front, and Gordon gets a hold of it. Tries to kick over again.
I'm going to have a reversal here, though, and there it is. Now 5-2.
Nice sequence by Gordon. Good hips. Hey, good hips by Ormsby trying to kick over. Oh my. Of course, Ormsby could feel that half coming in and was going to have no parts of it. Here's it. Watch the hip movement, and then spins out to the side, throws the half in, comes out the back door, gets a nice reversal. See a wrestler execute like that, and that is something that takes a lot of practice. You see the escape.
6-2 now. Gordon will have his choice starting the third period.
Again, sometimes it seems almost like wrestlers don't want to be in control and ride the man out. And this will be interesting to see if Ormsby can put one of those smothering rides on.
And he was doing a pretty good job. Then he got a little careless and got reversed.
Yes.
In the second period. I mean, we saw the great job by Villalonga at 130. You know, you would think these guys probably partner or at least wrestle in practice at times.
Oh, I'm sure.
So something they probably work on.
Oh my, nice sequence by Gentry, but he couldn't get, or by Gordon, but he couldn't get away from Ormsby. Again, a good attempt at trying to sit out, try to establish wrist control, and then turn one way or the other. But Ormsby's on him like a blanket. You're right. If you practice in the wrestling room with somebody who rides good, you're going to become even better. And notice how when the man goes to his feet there, a lot of times you'll drop down below the hips and get a hold of the legs to establish a move that can knock the opponent off his base and off his feet.
And if you look at the Blair lineup, you know, Gray, who won's a junior, Silver, who won's a sophomore, Boyle is a senior, Villanga's a junior, Wormsby's a sophomore. I mean, you're going to see these guys 2-3
It will go
years.
on and on. What a future. Blair pretty much highly ranked in the country now. With that kind of talent, they can only get better and better. Wow, again, look at the strength of trapping that arm on top, keeping the legs covered, knee in the butt. All basic fundamentals. But it takes hours and hours of practice to become that good.
Well, he's in complete control here, 6-2. He let up that reversal in the second period, but it's been all Austin Wormsby, the number 3 seed. We count down the final 5 seconds. Another champ for Blair. What's that, Vogt? 5th, I think. Yeah, 5th and 5 tries. And that's it.
And he had Nicky Gordon just shaking his head at the end. What do I do with that?
And we get ready for 140 pounds. The number 1 seed is Anthony Baldessaro of Eastern Regional High School, a junior, against the senior from Boyertown, number 6 seed, Ryan Kemmerer. Baldessaro, a runner-up in this tournament last year. Kemmerer in the white.
Baldessaro, the number 1 seed, Eastern Regional Junior, now resides in Berlin. A year ago, he wrestled for Delsey Regional. 2-0 this year. 80 or 90 wins. I can't read the hammer.
That looks like 80. See if I can get an update on that.
Sophomore, number 4 national ranking, 145 pounds, a 2-time district champion, 2-time regional champion, New Jersey state champion a year ago, Beast of the East runner-up, been to the Fargo Cadet Nationals, was a freestyle champion.
Cadet freestyle champ over the summer. First year wrestling freestyle too, Vogt.
Goes to show you how much talent is in that body.
And Vogt, you got to thank the people behind us who are just feeding us tons of information. And to give them a little shout out, Vogt.
Jim Walsh and his buddy accompanies him in wrestling all over the state.
They've been here for this whole tournament, haven't they?
Friday and Saturday.
Still no score. 25 seconds left here in the first. Boyertown located in Pennsylvania, Eastern Regional in South Jersey.
Baldessaro, the number 1 seed, opened up with a 39-second fall in his first match. He won 16-3 over Ethan Saylor of Connellsville in his second match. Won by disqualification in the third match, and that happened on Friday. I'm not quite sure if that was a stalling disqualification. Then he advanced with a 3-0 win over the number 4 seed, Cody Coombs of Sussex Central.
Baldessaro taking the top here to begin the second.
Ryan Kemmerer of Boyertown advanced with a 3-1 win in his first bout, a 9-4 win in his second bout. That was against Will Resnick of Pencrest. Advanced 4-1 over the number 3 seed, Kenny Stark of Dolphin, and then advanced to the final with an 8-6 win over the number 2 seed, Ben Morgan of Catoosa. And that gets him to this spot as the number 6 seed against the number 1 seed.
Baldessaro doing a nice job on top, minute into this second period. In Amateur Wrestling News, Vogue, they ranked him as a 145-pounder as you look at the coaching staff from Eastern Regional High School, Worthington and Stinson.
And Gary Worthington was to the right in that picture.
Boyertown coaching staff. Boyertown. Peter Ventresca, the head coach, Todd Van Horn, Anthony Halley, and John Cooley, the assistants. Kemmerer 37-3 last year. Nice season for him. Baldessaro, as we talked about, a returning state champion from New Jersey. Baldessaro got that nice tight riding. You can see him with the legs in there too.
Yes.
He's going to ride out Kemmerer.
Well, he's just prying the half. He's going to get back points,
and he got him now.
Oh my.
How about that, Vogue? In the last 10 seconds, picks up back points. He never quit on the top.
No, and got 2 points. So he got enough of a count there when he pried the man over with the half.
He'll be on the bottom trying to get another point here on an escape.
Quickly to his feet, Baldessaro gets the escape.
And now in on the leg.
Get in that near side single. He wants to lift this man's leg off the mat if he can. He had a good overhook in there by the opponent, Kemmerer, to prevent that. Baldessaro slips that attempt by Kemmerer and gets an easy takedown.
5-1. Trying to figure out where the 1 point was from. Baldessaro out in front. Did I miss something?
Well, if you missed it, I missed it because I thought it was still a shutout. As Baldessaro started on the bottom, got the escape and followed it with the takedown.
Unless it was an illegal move or a penalty point, but it is 5-1. It's 5-1 on the scoreboard. We'll go by that. Maybe it was a penalty point. We didn't see it awarded. But anyway, Baldessaro in control of this match with just 40 seconds left.
Yep.
And we've been lucky, Vogue. I mean, we've had the chance to see Anthony Baldessaro wrestle a lot the last 2+ years.
I need all the 130, 135-pound award recipients to report to the medal stand.
Now the official is going to the table, so they may be taking that point away. I don't ever remember a point going up.
Right, and that's where they're looking. You can see him looking at the scoreboard right now. I think that question is coming from the bench of Eastern Regional High School.
All of us sitting together here can't recall seeing a point awarded.
Right. Now they're going to go over 6-1. And then actually they give an extra. Baldessaro ended up with a point after all that. I think maybe they're just putting the points in the wrong spot on the scoreboard.
I think so too. You're going to see both coaches are coming over now, right, asking him what's going on.
Coaches, you can keep your seats there. No problem. Want to warm up? Please warm up and back to the referees.
Yeah.
I thought it was 5-0 from what we've seen. But then again,
Baldessaro had a 1-0 lead. Got some back points, right?
Well, he got the back points first.
Then the escape.
Then he got the escape.
3-0.
Then he got the takedown. That's
Right.
5. That's the 5 points. Where the 6 points came from, I don't know. And I don't know where the 1 point came from for Kemmerer. They're discussing it at the scoring table.
Please report to the award stand.
Well, the coaches are walking away, and it's now 4-1. That's even more bizarre.
That
should be 5-0. I just think it's an error at the scoreboard. I'm really thinking they know the score. I just think the scoreboard is malfunctioning. I hope.
Either that or the scorers are malfunctioning.
So here we are, 140 pounds. The number 6 seed, Ryan Kemmerer of Boyertown, a senior, against the number 1 seed, Anthony Baldessaro of the Eastern Regional.
Yeah.
And we have it 5-0 with 37 seconds left in the third period in favor of Baldessaro.
And now they're trying to walk the scorer through it at the table. I know it's definitely not 4 points.
Coach is walking away. I think they seem satisfied. It's just
Let's keep those mats clear down there. You've got about 10 minutes, wrestlers, on mat 3. Keep your sweats on. We have 2 awards ceremonies. So keep the mats clear.
Well,
Kemmerer just taking a rest down on the mat. He's relaxing. Baldessaro just walking around.
Yep, and Kemmerer, with 37 seconds to go, has got to be thinking to himself, how can I get 4 points in a hurry?
Or 5. Who knows what the score is. There you see them. They're looking at the scorebook, Voge, and you've.
Ron, you need to down to the award stand, please, sir.
Let's go back and look at the videotape.
Ron, you'll be presenting 130 pounds.
Definitely taking a while here. We have 5-0 up here. I believe Eastern has 5-0 because they were over there questioning it. There's an eraser
going to work there. Now you got 5-1. Well, I know Baldessaro definitely has 5 points.
And it was 5-1 before the whole argument started. We don't know where the 1 came from. Now the Eastern coach is going back over. Baldessaro is all ready to wrestle. I think the Eastern coaches are questioning that 1 point,
which was never awarded.
Right. There can never be, and because there's the guy at the score table saying 1. But there's never a 1. Because the back points came at the end of the second period.
Yes.
And
then,
that's how the period ended.
Right. Then Baldessaro
started
down, got an escape.
Right. And then
followed with a takedown. That's the 5 points. Poor official is exhausted over there trying to listen to the arguments. And squared away. I guess it's going to stay 5-1, so it's 5 for Baldessaro and a mystery point for Kemmerer.
The only thing I can think of, some sort of penalty, I don't know.
But I don't think the Eastern coaches would have argued so vociferously if they had at least seen it awarded. Anyway, Baldessaro has a 5-1 lead.
Kemmerer trying to get a little shot of adrenaline after that little break, but Baldessaro on top just doing a great job.
Right, threw the legs in, underhooks, potentially dangerous.
Down to 15 seconds.
When he has the legs in like that and the bottom man comes to his feet, you got to stop it for potentially dangerous.
Seventh place winner, getting set. Central Long, next up finishing 8th, Emmett from Jackson.
Again, Baldessaro tried to ride on top.
5-2.
To the forward,
and there's a takedown, 7-2. Baldessaro will win, 7-2. We believe it's 7-1. We'll go with 7-2 for now. And no matter what, Anthony Baldessaro, after finishing in second last year, Voge, wins his first title.
And was very impressive in doing it.
Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll come back with more wrestling after this timeout. And back at the University of Delaware at the Bob Carpenter Center, 145 pounds, Voge.
145 pounds, the number 1 seed from Cumberland Valley is Jerry Napoli. The Pennsylvania wrestler is 11-0 this year, 128-25 in his career. 2-time district 4th, 1-time district 2nd. 145-pound state champion in 2008. 3rd in the Beast of the East in 2008. Ranked 7th in the country. His opponent is a junior from Middletown, Pennsylvania, Bo Candelaria. He is 8-1 this year with 70 career wins. 4th in the regionals a year ago, 3rd in the sophomore nationals at 140 pounds. All Berks County honoree in Pennsylvania at 140 pounds. 2nd in the Carlisle tournament, another tournament in Pennsylvania a year ago. Napoli, the number 1 seed, got here with a fall in his first 3 matches. Then in the quarterfinals, he beat Cody Cabinet of Smyrna 15-3. In the semifinals, he was tested, winning 4-3 over the number 5 seed, Blake Rulo of Mataka, to reach this point. Candelaria is the first unseeded wrestler in the finals. He won by Tech Fall his first time out. He won 4-3 over the number 2 seed, Ryan Rosales of Catalusa. He won 2-0 over Kyle Makaborski of Nazareth. Then he won 8-1 over the number 7 seed, Justin Martinez of Wyoming. And he won in the semifinals 5-1 over the number 11 seed, Cody Alala of Hopewell.
So far scoreless to our first period, Vote.
And that's the way it's going to end up, that first period.
Napoli finished 3rd in this tournament last year at this same weight class. Amateur Wrestling News ranks him number 8 as we take a look at the coaching staffs here at the Bob Carpenter Center. Carpenter family, a big name in this area. Carpenter family used to own the Philadelphia Phillies years ago, Butch.
Bet they'd love to still own them after that World Series this last year.
Napoli on the bottom here to start the second.
Yeah, Candelaria.
It's impressive, Butch. I mean, this is a kid, as you said, unseeded, going against the number 1 seed.
Yep. Got in top there, hugged his hips in tight to try and stay in control. Nice switch attempt by Napoli. Candelaria trying to counter it. Napoli kicks over. Going to get a reversal.
Yep. There it is.
Basic fundamental switch. And when Candelaria tried to counter it, Napoli just used great hip work to kick right over and get us 2 points.
The Eagles, the Cumberland Valley Eagles in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania.
Very seldom do you see an unseeded wrestler get this deep into the tournament. Candelaria has done a great job to get to this point. Now, can he complete his journey?
1 minute left in the second. Napoli wrestled 50 dual meets, or 50 matches last year, Votes, in this season, high school wrestling season, 47-3.
It's a nice campaign, that's for sure. Started wrestling when he was 12 years old.
Which is actually, if you think about it, a lot later than a lot of kids wrestle. A lot of these kids are starting 5 and 6 years old.
Yep. Yep, you start with the Bantams and move on up, and it's very unusual for somebody to get started at 12 years old.
Going to Lehigh next year, Coach.
Napoli is a Pennsylvania state champion. Yes, you're right. Headed to Lehigh.
Great program at Lehigh.
Always among the best in the Eastern Intercollegiate Wrestling Association.
Time winding down here in the second. Napoli with a 2-0 lead on that reversal.
And that's how we're going to go into the third period, 2-0. Candelaria has a choice and looks like he wants to start neutral. Candelaria trying to keep the pressure on the head.
Candelaria in the yellow, Napoli in the dark. Third period.
You know, and when you get to the finals of a tournament like this at each of these, you're going to see, in most cases, wrestlers that are pretty well evenly matched.
I was going to say, Coach, I was questioning that score again. It said 2-1. Is that right? It's 2-0. Okay. Boy, they're getting me confused big time. That was the silence. I'm trying. Now it says 2-1 again. Maybe the 0 and the 1 just keep messing up on that scoreboard.
Well, either that or they gave some kind of a stalling point, or that we didn't pick up on.
Now it says 2-0 again. Okay.
Again.
No, because it was.
That's called.
I was watching. I know it's almost like that Baldacero match last match we just saw.
That's called musical numbers over there.
1:13 left. 1:12 now. Now we're going to go over and check out the score. They got it right. They're nodding. The score is right. Napoli with the lead.
And the pressure's on Candelaria because he's the one that's on the short end of the score.
We have an injury time because we haven't had any of those yet.
Now,
there we go. It's our first one. They're going to send them right back. I think the confusion, Vogue, was because Candelaria decided to start neutral instead of down, and they probably saw him up and just gave the 1 point.
That could be where the confusion came from. Candelaria gets behind.
Takedown. We got a tie match.
Okay, he gave the takedown because when he spun behind, Napoli had his hands on the mat, so his supporting points, all 4 supporting points, were on the mat. Now the pressure is on Napoli to come off the bottom. He's got 50 seconds to do it. Oh my, nice roll into a Peterson. He got the reversal. If he can expose Candelaria's back, he could get back points.
And Napoli's tough on top, or on the bottom, we've noticed.
Yes. Oh my. Got the Navy ride in.
21 seconds.
4-2 lead for Napoli.
This is something now with Napoli feels like he's getting in trouble. He should just give up the 1 and not get reversed.
He's got to feel the pressure out there. He's got to understand what his capabilities are. That's the way it's going to end up, it looks like.
Well, final 10 seconds to go.
Uh-oh, Candelaria trying to come out the back door.
Yeah, you see Napoli sticking those legs in there. That's not going to happen.
Oh, my. Oh,
that's it,
my.
4-2. Another couple seconds, though, Vogue. That could have ended differently, but Joey Napoli of Cumberland Valley with a 4-2 win. Okay, we get ready for 152 pounds.
By the way, you mentioned earlier the help we were getting. I just want to compliment Jim Walsh and Aaron Adizio for helping us out.
Some of the former place winners at the previous weight classes have been getting shots. That was the
Villalonga, 130 pounds. Villalonga, the champion. Sherlock of West Mifflin was second. Nick Shank of St. Mark's third. Eddie Coles of Eastside fourth. Alex Pellicati of Boyertown was fifth. Ian Squires of Colonial Forge sixth. Nick Hodgkins of Wyomissing area was seventh. And Tyler Buckman, Central Dauphin, was eighth.
This must be the 135-pound. Ormsby of Blair finishing first, and Gordon from Wyoming Seminary was second.
Austin Summer of Northampton was third. Andrew Williams of Tab was fourth. Matt Rust of Quakertown was fifth. Hank Stinson of Eastern Regional was sixth. Kyle Moran of Oxford area was seventh. And Connor Miller of Farquhar was eighth.
And there well, looks like we're waiting for one of the consolations to end, so we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll have the 152-pound weight class after this timeout. And back to the University of Delaware for the 16th annual Beast of the East tournament. And we're at 152 pounds, and Central Dolphins' Marshall Peppelman, Voge, doesn't waste any time. He's right in on that leg and gets a takedown.
Well, he's had a fabulous tournament, and I'll tell you about that in a second. This junior from Central Dauphin, 92-7 in his career, 8-0 this year. A Pennsylvania state champion in 2008, a Beast of the East champion a year ago, two-time Powerade champion, Cadet National Greco champion. In 2007 was a Pennsylvania state runner-up. He is a fabulous wrestler. His opponent from Blair is Adam Haig, a senior from Twinsburg, Ohio, 87-29 in his career, 7-3 this year, third in the Prep Nationals and sixth in the Prep Nationals, Hurricane Classic tournament champion, eighth in the Ironman. But look at how Peppelman got here. A 9-second fall, a 19-second fall, an 8-0 major decision over Frank Mealy of Southern Regional, who we all saw in the state tournament last year. A 15-0 technical fall over the number 5 seed, Colin McConnell of Penn Ridge. Scoring machine is what Peppelman is. His opponent's the number 6 seed, Adam Hogue, won by a fall in a minute and 6, won 9-4, won 5-0. In the quarterfinals, he beat the number 3 seed, Jason Luster of Woodbury, 5-4. In the semifinals, he had to go overtime to win 3-1 against Bryce Bustler, the number 2 seed from Cumberland.
Great bloodlines in that Peppelman family, Voge. His brother Walter finished second in this tournament. He's a freshman right now at Harvard.
So brains as well as brawn.
You happen to have last year's results on you somewhere, Voge? I know you do. Just want to check something real quick. So it's 2-1, 30 seconds left here in the second, or first period, I'm sorry.
I notice how Peppelman is hugging the mat, staying down, not exposing his legs, lowering his base.
And we show you just to tell you how good Peppelman is. Last year beat Anthony Baldessaro 9-2 in the final. We saw how good Baldessaro is earlier.
And Baldessaro is state champion last year in New Jersey. Peppelman is state champion in Pennsylvania.
We look at the coaching staff for the Rams. So it's Central Dauphin, located in Harrisburg. Swigert, Mauer, Schwartz, Arnott, and Collins. Round out that coaching staff. They like the tilts over there at Central Dolphin, Bode, so that's how he racks up all those points when he's not pinning his opponents.
And notice how well he rides against the body.
So we'll take a look at the coaching staff at Blair Academy.
He's from Quinsburg, Ohio. He's a senior as a poet. There's a moment with a 2-1 lead on that championship.
When you see Peppelman, a wrestler like Peppelman, who's not afraid to get a good body ride and use his legs as extra weapons, it helps.
We're tied at 2.
Hogue got to his feet and got away, making it 2-2.
Hogue last year 32-7 for the Bucks of Blair Academy.
Again, Peppelman lowering his base out there, so he respects the takedown ability of Adam Hogue.
Hogue making it through as his 6th seed.
Didn't have a chance to read it entirely, but there was a great feature story on Peppelman in the latest issue of Win magazine.
We'll run back to the center with 38 seconds left here in the second. Got a stall warning. It looked like on Peppelman. So after that quick takedown, Hogue's regained composure.
Well, and I think, this has a tribute to the coaching staff of Blair, because I'm sure they've watched every move that Peppelman has made during a tournament. They have their wrestler, right on top of everything that Peppelman may have in his arsenal. 2-2 entering the third period.
Now we've seen Blair so far in this tournament a number of times, and they're really good on top. But there's Peppelman though with a quick escape in like 2 seconds.
Yes, quick turn in, sit out move. Didn't even have to do a full sit out to get his reversal, to get his escape.
Three 3-2 lead. Marshall Peppelman of Central Dolphin High School.
Hogue trying to keep pressure on the head of Peppelman.
.121 left as we go back to the center.
Now, what Peppelman has to be aware of here is he can't back up. He's got to keep the pressure on himself, because he can end up getting hit with some kind of a stalling warning unless he keeps being does not keep being aggressive.
Just driving into Hogue there, they go out. Number of underclassmen in this tournament, Coach, in the finals. That says a lot about these kids too, because
it's outstanding caliber that they provide. Boy, for the amount of points that Peppelman has piled up in this tournament, Hogue is giving him everything he wants in this final.
Well, Vogt, a wise man once told me, when you get to this level, a lot of sharks, not many guppies.
There are no guppies this far upstream.
Sometimes those sharks are a lot meaner. So 1 point match though with 35 seconds left in the third. Peppelman with the lead.
And Hogue has to keep the pressure on. Peppelman can't just keep backing away. This is when it's dangerous, because if you get your wrestler thinking one way and you control the head and spin behind, you can get a last second takedown.
Final 15 seconds. If you're Hogue, you got to take a shot, throw or something. Doesn't matter if you lose 5-2 or 3-2. There you go.
Peppelman counters
5-2.
and gets the takedown.
So Marshall Peppelman with a win, his second title in as many years. Last year winning at 140 pounds, coming back at 152 pounds with the win here. And last year, Coach, Alex Mead was the champ at 152 pounds.
And Alex Mead is at Oklahoma State University and seeing lots of action out at Oklahoma State.
That's a
wrestling
wrestler
for John Smith.
Yeah, we had a chance to see Mead wrestle for 4 years. One of the most flamboyant, tough wrestlers that one of the toughest wrestlers you'll see, especially on his feet.
Yes. Yeah, he was exhilarating on his feet. There's no question.
Get ready for 160 pounds. But we're going to have a little break for award ceremony, so we'll take a timeout and we'll come right back after we see this takedown, though, Voach, from Peppelman.
Just more of a counter move by Peppelman because, as you mentioned, Hogue had no choice but to try and get a takedown.
All right. Okay, we'll take a break. More action coming up after this timeout. Welcome back to the Carpenter Center at the University of Delaware for the 16th annual Beast of the East. John Mondelli and John Vogeting. And Voge, we're taking a look at some of the champs there as we had the award ceremony. 145-pound weight class right there.
145 pounds. Joey Napoli of Cumberland Valley was the winner. Bo Candelaria of Middletown was second. Blake Rawulo of Mataka was third. Curtis Holmes of McDonough was fourth. Cody Ayala of Hopewell was fifth. Jay Matthias of St. Mark's sixth. Shane Fennington of Northampton seventh. And Justin Martinez, Wyoming Seminary, was eighth.
As we get ready now for our next match at 160 pounds.
Well, when the 160-pounders come out.
Here's Kyle Lang from Brecksville, Ohio. His opponent, the number 1 seed, Dallas Bailey. Bailey in the green. Couple seniors. Bailey, the number 1 seed, Lang, the number 3 seed. Lang with an impressive win, Voge, in the semis, knocked off the 135-pound champ from last year, Kenny Counts from Central Dauphin, in what a lot of people were telling me was the best match earlier today in the semis, in a wild finish, controversial ending, a matter of fact. Lang finishing third last year at 140, making the step up to 160.
Dallas Bailey, the number 1 seed, is from Oklahoma, Catoosa, Oklahoma. 8-0 this year, 110-4 in his career, a 3-time state champion, 2-time Filia Cadet champion, 2-time folk style national champion, Oklahoma junior national team member, intent on attending Oklahoma State after he graduates this year. His opponent, the number 3 seed, Kyle Lang from Becksville, Ohio. So you got Ohio and Oklahoma in this final. 2-time Fargo All-American, 2-time Fila All-American, National High School Coaches Association Junior National Runner-Up, 2-time Beast of the East place winner, 3-time Ohio State place winner, second in the 2008 Ironman, wants to go to Ohio University next year. Pair of very talented seniors. Dallas Bailey got here as the number 1 seed with a 6-2 win in his opening bout. Had a tech fall in his next bout. won 4-1 over the number 8 seed, Jesse Shanneman of Blair in the quarterfinals. Won his semifinal 5-4 over Jimmy Sherlock of Northampton.
Bailey working for that takedown. Might try, now he's going to try and get some back points. Right at the buzzer, he gets a takedown. Time running out, stopping him from getting some back points.
Kyle Lang, the number 3 seed, opened up with a 13-0 win, a 15-second fall, a 10-3 win. Then he won over the number 6 seed in the quarterfinals. James Fleming of West Mifflin, 4-1, won his semifinal match 7-6 over the number 2 seed, Kenny Quartz of Dolphin.
So that takedown at the end, the big 2 points. Anytime we talk about this all the time, you can steal points in the last 5-10 seconds of a period. That one came right at the end. There's an escape now. It's 2-1 in favor of Bailey.
Long trip to Delaware coming from Oklahoma.
Yeah, that 35 minutes isn't too bad, is it now, Voge? No. Easy ride right off of 95 to the University of Delaware.
And on a single, trying to pull his man back on the mat and get complete control so he can get a takedown. Inching him back inbounds.
Bailey looks strong, Voge. That looks like a strong 160-pounder.
Yes. And don't forget, if he wants the 2 points here, he's got to establish complete control with all the supporting points inbounds. Nice step in.
And he got it. That's working for 2 there, 4-1. Here's that takedown at the end of the first period. Talked about it in the last 5-10 seconds of the period.
Steps in on a single, tries to switch over, comes right through the back door and establishes complete control. Turk the leg a little bit.
And that's when time was running out at the end of that period. I mean, at the end of that takedown. Almost had a chance for 4 points.
Yes. All he needed was back exposure for a 2 count, and he would have got 2 more points. Notice when a wrestler is in control like this and can hug the body like that and use his own legs as leverage to knock his opponent off the mat, that's an added weapon. As you mentioned, you can see the strength involved. Four to 1 the lead. 10 seconds left in the second period.
It's a caution on bottom, it looked like.
Yes, he has to stay set and let the top man get a hand on the belly and touch the elbows. That's all they have to do. They don't have to have any time period there. Just make contact and the whistle blows.
Lang trying to roll around, make something happen. Nothing there. 4-1 as we go into the third.
And the impressive thing again with Bailey was how he hugged right into his opponent. He's not afraid for back exposure because he's in complete control. Some wrestlers, when their back is exposed, will panic and let go. And then you're vulnerable for being reversed or letting the other man escape. Notice on the escape there how look at that great move there. How there was great hand control and then just use the speed to go in and get a takedown.
Now 7-1.
Got the rear side half in, far side half. Reversal
Take a look
given.
at that, Boach.
Just sweeps in, sweeps to the side, gets behind, and just battles into a takedown. Now he tried to hip hug the last sequence, and he ended up giving up a reversal to Lang.
So we're now
Should be
7-3.
7-3 in favor of Bailey.
Of course, as you said, Bailey's staying local, Boach, going to Oklahoma State.
Local to his home.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not local to us, but yes, local to him.
Or the University of Delaware. Bailey trying to maneuver his hips. Lang trying to keep the body covered.
Lang rallied from behind in the semifinals to make it to the finals, so
Well,
he's not
now-
used to wrestling from behind, but it's 8-3, and now he's going in on the takedown,
Well,
8-5, and we might see that same thing happen here. He might just let him go
cut
and
him
just try
loose.
and take him down.
cut him loose.
9-5.
27 seconds left, so he's got to get another takedown and then either take the man to his back or cut him loose in a hurry. See if he charges after another takedown. Time's running out.
Yeah, you might get to the point now where he might have to set him up for a 2 and a 2.
Again, Lang in on the legs.
This might be a little too late though, Vogt.
Well, Bailey coming out.
Nothing, and that's going to wrap it up. Final score, 9-5. Dallas Bailey, the 160-pound champion. There we go. As we get ready for 171 pounds, the interesting thing here is on the top bracket, the number 4 seed is Mason Bailey.
Yep, another Bailey.
From a different part of the country, Vogt, but he's coming from Fairmont, West Virginia. He's the 4 seed going against the 2 seed of Cumberland Valley, Mike Evans. Bailey, a senior, Evans, a junior. Of course, a wild ending over on the other match. That's what we're waiting for to start over here. East Fairmount. East Fairmount, I said, from West Virginia. The Bees. Wearing the
Mason Bailey, a senior from East Fairmont High School in Fairmont, West Virginia, as you mentioned. 135 wins and 15 losses in his career, 9-0 this year. Ranked number 4 in the country at 160 pounds, wrestling 171 here. West Virginia AAA state champion in 2007, and again last year. 2-time National High School Coaches Association All-American, 3-time All-State honoree, 3-time regional champion, 3-time conference champion, carrying a 4.375 grade point average. Undecided about his future plans, but I'm sure that would include some college time.
Bailey in the white, Evans in the dark.
Evans from Enola, Pennsylvania, going to Cumberland Valley High School, 83-7 in his career, 11-0 this year. So both wrestlers are undefeated to this point this year. Evans, a 2-time sectional champion, 2-time District 3 champion, 3rd in the Pennsylvania State Championships last year. 2-time Pennsylvania Freestyle and Greco-Roman State Champion. Wrestled in Fargo. 3rd place in the cadet competition. Member of the USAW Junior National Team. 2-time member of the Brute Scholastic Dual Meet Team. First at 171 pounds in the Top Hat Tournament.
Evans ranked number 8 in the country in amateur wrestling news in the latest edition.
Evans, the number 2 seed, opened up with a 30-second fall, followed that up with a 3:54 fall. In the quarterfinals, he won 3-0 over the number 10 seed, Connor Black of Mountain. In the semifinals, won by a tech fall, 18-2 in 5:20 over Jim Resnick of Pencrest, who was unseeded. Mason Bailey opened up as the number 4 seed with an 8-0 win, followed with an 8-4 win. Won 2-0 in sudden victory in his pre-quarterfinal match against Damon Scott of Eastern. So Scott took him all the way in the sudden victory. Bailey won his quarterfinal in a first period fall against Mike Green of St. Paul's. Then he won his semifinal 8-4 against the number 8 seed Brad Hitchings of Trinity to get to this point.
Tied at 2, 171-pound weight class. 2 seconds left. The coaching staff at East Fairmont is taking a look. John Geary, the head coach there. Assistants Adam Boyers, Mile, and Page.
He was a Greco-Roman All-American.
Here's that first takedown, Voge. You take a look. And Bailey just nice.
Pretty basic spin behind, you get control. Almost got back exposure. So right away, the wrestler is being taken down once they get belly
Reversal
down.
and some back points here by Evans, though, Voge.
Got a Peterson. Not only gets a reversal, but he's going to have back points. At least 2, if not 3. Spins out of that, comes right back in control.
7-2, so a nice 5-point move.
Yep. Throws the crossbody right in, but he's got to underhook that far arm to stay out of trouble. Oh, he's got a spladle. Got a spladle. But out of bounds they go.
Waking the crowd up there, huh?
That sure did. That could be a lethal move if you got him in bounds. He ran out of space. Again, he goes to throw the legs in.
Wow. Potentially dangerous.
Yes, because they come off the mat. Once the bottom man's hands come off the mat, then it becomes a potentially dangerous situation. You have to stop it with the crossbody right in, with the legs in. And if you are...
Got to reverse that score. It should be Evans with the 7-2 lead over Bailey. Evans coming in, the number 2 seed. .35 seconds left here in the second period.
Again, keep slipping the leg in for his right on top, trying to underhook an arm.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
More back points.
My.
Up, potentially dangerous.
dangerous.
And we can have some injury time here.
Injury timeout. Number 1, he scores 19.
So obviously it was a dangerous move, Voge. He actually was hurt.
If they stop it for an injury timeout, it's got beyond the potentially dangerous point, but not illegal. Just was stretching him out pretty good on the shoulder there.
132, St. Mark's 140.5, Central Fulton 100.
Mike Evans wrestling for Cumberland Valley. They're, as we mentioned earlier, in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. They're the Eagles. And now it's 10-2. So, Voj, they did give him the 3 back points, and they stopped it because he was hurt.
Yes. If you are leading toward what will be a 3-point near fall, and the bottom wrestler or the wrestler that you're attempting to get those back points against has to call for a timeout, you give him the maximum number if it looks like that's what he was going to earn. So a 3-point near fall added to it makes it 10-2 in favor of Michael Evans.
Cumberland Valley coming in ranked 11th in the country in the latest Amateur Wrestling News team rankings.
Carter Christiansburg, number 7, Matt Mullen, Mount St. Joe.
And Michael Evans gaining more and more confidence as the bout wears on. Quite a few more people here earlier. It looks to me like as some of the matches have ended, people started heading for home.
Please report immediately.
Well, you know, impressive, because this is the last holiday weekend, Voj.
Yes, and it's a long tournament.
Let me go down to the third period. Mike Evans with a 10-2 lead as we head into period number 3. We're going to start neutral.
Very comfortable lead.
Brad pitching, Trinity takes home the victory. Fifth place. Finishing 6th, Neil Phillips. Wrestlers, clear the mat. I know you're up next, but we have 2 award ceremonies to get. Clear mat number 5, please. Clear mat number 7 at the seat.
Get to see another Blair Academy wrestler before we leave tonight.
Only fitting.
2 more, actually.
Since they have pretty much dominated the tournament.
99, all tied up. 171 pound bronze medal match. And Bruce Blair Academy, Jim Presley and Press. Clear mat 5, big guys. Clear the mat. Somebody get the big guy off of mat 5, please. Clear mat 5.
122 left here in the third. 10-2 lead. Mike Evans in the dark uniform. Mason Bailey in the white. I say uniform singlet, Voj.
Yes.
Blair Academy finishes 3rd, finishing 4th, Jim Presley from Press.
After that big flurry in the second, things have kind of stalled. And here's, speaking of stalled, it's a stall warning against Bailey for backing up.
And Michael Evans is in complete control. Bailey trying to shove the head down, to reach back for the near leg and try and spin behind. But look at that move.
Bailey running out of space.
Yes. But just slipped that move and came right out the side and almost got a takedown of his own.
Award recipients, 152, 160. We need to get the award stand right now so we can give your awards out at the completion of this championship.
3 more weight classes to go after this one, as they hold the championship finals on one side of the gym, and then on the other side 3 mats lined up for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th and 8th. And again, Bailey running out, or Evans running out of room on that takedown attempt. So it's still 10-2.
This will be the second wrestler from Cumberland to win a title. The only other team other than
Cumberland
Blair.
Valley is Blair with what, 4 or 5.
Right, to read there's another spin behind takedown.
Another takedown. It's now 12-2, and that's how we're going to end this. So Mike Evans of Cumberland Valley, a winner 12-2 over Mason Bailey of East Fairmont. Okay, we're going to take a break from the Carpenter Center at the University of Delaware, the 16th annual Beast of the East Wrestling Tournament. More to come after this timeout. And we take a look, Voj, at the 160-pound place winners at the 16th annual Beast of the East tournament. The winner was Dallas Bailey of Katosa, Oklahoma. Kyle Lang of Brecksville finishing second. And we get ready for 189 pounds. Oh, that was the 60 pounders. That was for, actually we saw the 52. That's the 60 pounders there. Tony Delago of Central Dauphin against Max Huntley of Blair. The number 2 seed and the number 4 seed, Voj.
Max Huntley of Blair, the number 2 seed, 7-0 this year with 145 career wins. His highest national ranking has been second. He is a 2-time Fargo All-American freestyle wrestler, a former Virginia State champion, now wrestling for Blair Academy. Ironman champion. His opponent, Tony Delago, from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, in Central Dauphin, 133 wins in his career, 7-1 this year. Second, fifth, and 8 in 3 trips to the Pennsylvania State Championships. Top hat runner-up. The interesting thing about him is, as a freshman, he wrestled 103. In 2008, as a junior, he wrestled 160, and now as a senior, he's at 189.
A big jump. Last year finished 4th at 160. Delago in the green for Central Dauphin. 2 of the top teams in the country, Central Dauphin in one of the polls, votes ranked number 4 in the country, Blair ranked number 1.
Yep. Tony Delago of Central Dauphin won by a fall in his first match, a fall in his second match, a tech fall in his third match against Mike Stroud of Big Spring, won by a fall in his next match against Chris Perry of Cox in Virginia, and then he won his semifinal 9-4.
Wow, they gave a takedown to Huntley and an escape to Delago. Not sure if there was ever control. Some of the crowd moaned over that call, but still a 2-1 lead for Huntley.
Delago's semifinal win was 9-4 over Mac Mancuso of Holy Spirit.
Holy Spirit High School in South Jersey,
Southern
down
New
by
Jersey.
Atlantic City.
Yep. Max Huntley won his first match by a fall, won his second match 13-5, and he beat the number 10 seeded wrestler, Joe Pyro of Northampton. Came back and beat the number 3 seeded wrestler, Alex Thomas of Sussex Tech in Delaware, to reach this point.
2-1 after 1. Huntley from Blair Academy with the lead. He'll take the bottom.
Those place winners at 152, that Marshall Peppelman of Central Dauphin, Adam Hogue of Blair Academy was second, Jason Luster of Woodbury Forest was third.
3-1 now. Sorry, votes 3-1 now on the escape.
Okay, Cumberland Valley was fourth. Frank Mealy of Southern Regional was fifth. Colin McConnell of Penn Ridge was sixth. Chris Moon of Farquhar was seventh, and Tim Farrow of Boyertown was eighth.
Well, Delago trying to tie this match.
He's in on the leg. Got to know what to do.
Nice job by Huntley. He just sits there and just waits for the stalemate.
Set right back on it and forces the stalemate. Again, in on the near side leg. Well, try to get in on near side leg. That was Huntley trying to get the takedown.
Coming into this tournament, Voj, Tony Delago was ranked number 12 in the country according to Amateur Wrestling News. Huntley is 5th.
Well, it's interesting how many nationally ranked wrestlers meeting head-on in this Beast of the East tournament.
Right. Mac Mancuso, who Delago beat, was ranked 4th. So obviously the rankings will change next time they come out.
Yeah, when you go to head-to-head with ranked wrestlers and you're a lower ranked wrestler and beat a higher ranked wrestler, that's going to have to adjust their rankings.
And what's interesting, Voj, is they look at the top 12 wrestlers at 189 pounds. 11 of the 12 are seniors. The number 2 ranked wrestler is a sophomore named Andrew Capolatano from Boundbrook, who we had a chance to see last year in the New Jersey State Finals. He's ranked number 2 in the country. 3-1 lead right now for Huntley.
And winning a state title like he did at that weight,
As a freshman, yes.
Roselle Park, right?
Boundbrook.
Boundbrook, I'm sorry. Boundbrook wrestler winning a state title as a freshman is quite an accomplishment. And there's only been one 4-time state champion in New Jersey history. And
that was Mike Ray, and we had a chance to see his brother at 103, Mark Ray, with an 8-0 win.
Right.
Earlier today. Of course, that pressure's always on when a freshman wins a state title. It's always pressure about being the first 4-timer. But when you win it at 189, you're coming up against a lot of
upperclassmen.
Right.
A lot of seniors, a lot of juniors out there. You come along as a freshman and accomplish what he accomplished. That's amazing.
Oh, look out.
My. Rolled through.
No control there.
Rolled through.
Like a Peterson there for a second.
He's trying to tilt him, see? Trying to turn him that way.
Don't think about Huntley. He doesn't panic when he's in that situation either. And you talked earlier about not being afraid to expose your back.
Yeah, you see the officials go together and talk. If you don't have a 2 count, you can't be given 2 points for a near fall. They're discussing it.
We have a time, injury time, or blood time. You see the trainers working on the Blair wrestler, Max Huntley. And I think we're all ready to go again. 3-1 lead, 123 left at 189 pounds.
He's the winner, down number 3. Alex Thomas from Sussex Temple finished 3rd. Beck Van Cuso from Holy Spirit People finished 4th.
Down to the final minute.
Max Huntley still in complete control. Well, control. 3-1 is not complete control, right. I guess.
There's the escape. So Delaware with the takedown could take the lead. 35 seconds to do so.
Try to go under.
Huntley, though, he's going to spin around.
Spinning around. Still no takedown. Oh my. A lot of scrambling there.
Another timeout.
3-0, Benzio.
Huntley going to, looks like he's tying his shoe.
You're going to take 3rd place.
24 seconds left.
And generally when that happens, they usually start the injury clock. But the official called officials timeout.
The old double knot.
20 seconds left.
All the other consolations done. I guess we'll get right into the 215-pound weight class. There's a stall warning. Looks like against Huntley.
Delaware trying to.
He's going to run out of time, Voj. That's it.
Yep. Tried to get a single step forward with it, but ran out of space and ran out of time.
3-2 win for Max Huntley of Blair Academy.
3-2, Max Huntley. Gonna win that match. 215 pounders. Let's report to the match. We're gonna wrestle your match next.
What a surprise. Another win for Blair.
I think they've won 6 out of the 7 finals they've been in. Pretty impressive as we get to.
Very impressive.
And they're in one more right here. They're number 4 seed Ben Krakauer of Blair Academy, a senior, going against the number 6 seed John Weber of Christiansburg. Christiansburg. In Virginia. Your buddy's going out on a limb there, Vogt, saying Blair might win this team title. I don't know.
Jim Walsh has been known to make some bizarre predictions.
This is 250 pounds. We will present the 171 and 189 pound weight classes today.
Okay, we got Krakauer and Weber.
Yes, we do. Weber,
Krakauer,
actually a product of South Jersey, I was told.
Originally from Woodstown. Krakauer, a number 4 seed. 9-1 this season. Very little else written about him. He is a senior. John Weber now lives in Christiansburg, Virginia. 103-35 in his career, 17-2 this year. 2-time state placer, 5th both times, and at 285 and 215 last year. 285 as a sophomore, 5th in the Walsh Ironman tournament. Weber, the number 6 seed, advanced to the finals with a pin in his first match, a 9-3 win in his second match. In the quarterfinals, he beat the number 3 seed, the number 3 seed, Ben Hattel of Martha. In the semifinals, he won 5-3 over the number 7 seed, Joey Grisco of Highland Regional, a South Jersey school.
St. Mark's, 2 coaches in the corner, please. We need to clear that area.
Notice I gave you the job of saying all the names, Coach.
Well, Krakauer won his first match 18-6, won his second match 10-1. In the quarterfinals, he won 3-1 over Nick Pirelli of Mountain. And the semifinals, he won 4-3 over the number 1 seed, Joe McMullen of Wyoming Seminary.
McMullen last year placed 6th, actually. Last year, Vogt, in this tournament, New Jersey had a 1st, 2nd, and a 5th. Parson, Stolla, and Boyden.
At this weight class?
Yep.
Yeah.
We're scoreless so far here in the second. 2 minutes and 40 seconds wrestled. Oh, I'm sorry, it's 1-0 Krakauer.
A little over a minute left in the second period with a 1-0 score. The Blair wrestler in the lead, goes in on a single, switch off to a double, got nothing. Weber applying the pressure. He's going to get a stalling call if you keep backing away.
Heavyweights, get ready to go. We are going to wrestle your match, and then we'll give all 3 awards out at the end. So heavyweights.
We're to get right into the heavyweights after the 2:15 vote. So you're going to do all the awards afterwards. So they want to make sure those heavyweights are warmed up and ready to go. I think they're probably thinking they'd have like a couple minutes extra.
Yes.
So heavyweights, get ready to go. We'll finish up all the wrestling.
20 seconds to go in the second period. 1-0 is a lonely score.
We're going to bring you out wrestling. And that way we'll do all the awards. We'll give the
That was a song one time, right? One is a lonely number.
Yes, it is. Three Dog Night, Vogue.
Whatever.
Hey, we're going to go into the third period. Krakauer with that 1-0 lead.
171, 189 pounders to give you awards. Heavyweights.
Weber will start on the bottom.
Weber, as we mentioned, originally from Woodstown, New Jersey. Now Christiansburg, Virginia.
And we're tied at 1.
An escape. I think pretty much Krakauer let him have that escape. Didn't make a very strong attempt to hold him down.
Well, I haven't seen anything close to a takedown so far in the first 2 periods.
Nope.
So see what happens here. This thing's all set up for overtime, Vogue.
One mistake could cost either wrestler a win at this weight class.
Coaches, if you have them, bring them up here to Adrian Stewart. He's up at the head table. Heavyweights, officials and coaches.
Krakauer trying to spin behind. He's got to get his man to the mat with everything in bounds. They're out of bounds.
Finals taking place December 21st, Vogue, 2008. Year's almost over. Wrestling season, though, just beginning.
In many states, it's 3 and 4 weeks old. In New Jersey, their first weekend. Delaware has been going for a couple weeks.
Under a minute to go. You're in the third period. 1-1 match.
Blair has dominated this tournament, 6 individual titles going into this bout.
Out of 7 shots.
5 other schools have.
There we go. Trying for a late takedown here to win this match, and nice job by Weber. Now he's going to try and get out of this and get a takedown. He's got 6 seconds left.
He spins behind.
He got it, Vogue. Whoa. How about that? John Weber of Christiansburg pulls out the victory, 3-1.
With a takedown in the last 3 seconds or so. It's amazing.
The Blair bench looks like somebody's questioning it. Let's take a look, Vogue.
I see he's got the near side leg hooked, and then when he gets up to his knees and has control, that's where the official gives the 2 points. What the Blair contention is that his ankle is trapped, his right ankle is trapped, and that's what their contention is. But the takedown is given, and it does count.
So Christiansburg's John Weber, a 3-1 winner. So Blair will finish this 6-2 in the finals. And we get ready for the heavyweight, Vogue, because we're going to go right into it. And we have the number 5 seed, Carl Green of Mount St. Joseph's, which is in Baltimore, Maryland, Vogue. You don't think of wrestling when you think of Baltimore, huh? Up-and-coming program, one of the kids told me earlier. Carl Green, the number 5 seed. He's a junior against another junior, Bobby Telford of St. Mark's in Delaware. Carl Green getting here, I think, beating the number 2 ranked wrestler in the country, Andrew Miller, in his semifinal match. And here we go. Carl Green in the white and what's that, purple, Vogue?
Yes. And he is
headsets off, and we'll have a little break right here.
And he is 11-0 this year with 80 career wins. Number 9 in the all-junior class. He is a junior in high school from Baltimore, Maryland. First in the private school state tournament, ranked number 1 in the state of Maryland last year. 2 times War on the Shore champion. 3rd in Greco, 4th in freestyle, 5th in the national preps. His opponent, 11-0 this year. A junior.
special awards at the completion of this heavyweight match. I have 8 285-pound heavyweights going at it out there.
Telford for St. Mark's. St. Mark's always a power in the state of Delaware in wrestling.
That they are.
Mother's wrestling love battling out the mat right now.
St. Mark's currently ranked number 10 in the country.
These are the big ones. Wrestling for third place, Andrew Miller.
Bobby Telford of St. Mark's advanced with a first period fall. Then he had a 7-2 win over the number 6 seeded wrestler, Brian Nicoli of Timberlane. Then he won by a fall in the first period against an unseeded wrestler, DJ King of Nazareth. And he advanced to the final with a 3-1 win over the number 2 seed, Jeremy Johnson of Brecksville. Carl Green of Mount St. Joseph had a first period fall. He had a third period fall. He won 3-2 over the 4th seed, Dan Walker of Delsea Regional in the quarterfinals. He won by a 2-1 score in a tiebreaker against the number 1 seed, Andrew Miller of Bassett in the semifinal. So he had a couple of very close matches, one-pointers the last 2 times he walked out on the mat.
And he's scoreless right here as we go into the second period. And Green will take the bottom here to start the second period. Sometimes you'll see the heavyweights just choose neutral, Voj. A lot of times when they have their choice.
Of course, if it's a tie score, they would want to take the bottom in that second
first.
period. Yeah,
sure.
Get that first point scored.
Which happens here for Green. Couple juniors. Green with the lead 1-0. Whatever comes down to that toss at the end, you want to have that choice.
Absolutely.
So the first point scored, that's how you figure that out.
They call him Slim. He's from Mount St. Joseph. He's a junior. 13 wins, 7 defeats. Number 1 in the practice school state. He's the number 1 heavyweight, Carpenter, Maryland. 2-time world short champion.
Still nothing close to a takedown in this match as we wrestle 54 seconds into the second period. All upper body here. Winding down, final match of the evening. John Vogeting is my partner. I'm John Mondelli. We're at the University of Delaware.
A lot of stalking going on.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, you get this far, this match is this close, you don't want to make a mistake in a plate match like this. No room there, he's out.
Yeah.
Go back to the center, 5 seconds.
And a lot of times when they land off the mat like that, even if the toes seem to be in, they very rarely will give a takedown in that situation.
And we go to the third, and we're sure we're going to see Telford take bottom here.
Most definitely.
we have a tie match.
The thing most heavyweights will do, they'll try to come up to their feet, establish wrist control, move their hips, and get free. Now what Bobby Telford has to be aware of here, the St. Mark's wrestler, is not to get under his opponent so that he gets his head shoved down and allows the man to spin behind him. Very seldom will you see heavyweights really charge and go for a double leg.
Mount St. Joseph's in Baltimore, as we mentioned, which is about a 50-minute ride south from 95 of the University of Delaware.
A little bit closer than Oklahoma.
Well, I said from the University of Delaware. Voch?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure you're listening.
No, I'm saying it's a little bit closer than Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I said this last time, and I think we had a takedown with, what, 2 seconds left?
2 seconds to go.
This is all the making of overtime. Just like the last match, I mean, nothing close to a takedown.
Right, and you just don't want to make a mistake. When you get this far, you just try and engineer a move out there that will not lead to a mistake.
Thank you, volunteers. Did a great job.
When I look back at the past results of this tournament, let me get to where I want to go. When I see some of the names here.
Oh, there's been an array of stars over the years that have gone on to,
Yeah, like Steve Mocco at heavyweight.
greater heights on the collegiate level.
I'm looking at him in the finals, Vojin. Let's see. In 1999, Mocco in the final, a 27-second pin, and in the final in the following year, a 1:23 pin.
Oh, he was a brute, no question.
He had 6 pins.
Oh my! Oh my!
Nothing.
Ah.
No points. We go overtime.
That was close.
In 2000, Voch, he had 6 pins in the tournaments. Steve Mocco, 6 pins, wrestled 9 minutes and 44 seconds.
1 minute overtime. Uh-oh, taking a shot here. This is
Telford.
Telford. All we got to do is push down that very, very hard. Spin behind.
Got to watch, though, with the weight difference, though, that he doesn't make a mistake.
Oh, my.
Because now Green's trying to spin around and nobody got anything
brother,
out of it.
how'd he get out of that? That was close.
Down to 24 seconds left. Watch. This is the one earlier, I think, towards the end of at the end of the period, right?
Yes. Spin behind. Looks like he's got control. Looks like his feet are in bounds, but no takedown given to force the overtime. Because he could have run out of time there too. I don't. When I looked up, there was it was already reset for the 1 minute overtime.
Right.
For this heavyweight match, I'd like to thank each and every one of the wrestling fans who come in here and supported our great wrestlers. Thanks to each and every one.
Got to tell you, Voch, great job by the people that ran this tournament today.
Without a doubt.
Or actually, they run it every year, but Bob Shaw, the tournament director, and everybody associated with the tournament, everybody at the University of Delaware, thank you to them.
And very informative too, from the Tim Berger on the public address system to keep everybody informed of what was going on. It's the first 30-second overtime period. Oh my.
Look at that, Voch. Look out. Oh, nice job by
Come out
Telford.
the
I
back.
thought he was going to get
Come out the
reversed there.
back door if he hooks the legs. Oh my.
Now we're going to go stay at 1-1, I should say.
Yep.
Another 30.
All right, this is Bobby Telford on the bottom. If he escapes, he will win.
One of the coaches trying to figure out if there should have been points there. That was the Mount St. Joseph's coach.
Let's get them going here. Let's end these heavyweights with a big crowds now. Come on now.
They're going to give you your money's worth, Voge. Take it to the end. Telford trying to stand up.
Oh my.
Reed
Oh
brings him right back down.
They want to lock hands. Trying to scramble. Oh my. Spin. If he spins, he gets out.
That's
There
it.
it is.
Right there, there's the point. And Telford of
But
St.
it's not
Mark's.
over yet.
That's right, we got 12 more seconds.
Gotta go to that full 30 seconds.
I remember now. Gotta get back into that wrestling mode, huh?
Yeah.
12 seconds. Look for Green to try the big throw here. Final 10 seconds.
Trying to leg trip.
Not going to
Reaching.
happen.
Oh my, oh my.
2-1 in overtime. Bobby Telford of St. Mark's will win it.
Number 11 seed.
Couple juniors giving it their all
Yep.
to wind things up here at the University of Delaware. John Vogening, I guess the story of this tournament was Blair Academy.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. You go through this tournament and you get 6 individual champions out of 8 weight classes. That is just phenomenal. The only other school to have more than one was Cumberland Valley, which is ranked nationally as well.
Right.
Wyoming Seminary with 1 champion, Eastern Regional with 1 champion, Central Dauphin with 1, Catoosa, Oklahoma with 1, Chambersburg, Virginia with 1, and St. Mark's of Delaware with 1 in the very final bout.
Well, what a way to kick off the wrestling season. A great job by our crew. Our director, Stan Ritter. I'd like to thank everybody from the University of Delaware. John Vogening, pleasure working with you. For our entire crew, I'm John Mondelli. We'll see you next time on Comcast.